Hello and welcome. Hi. Your host Elizibar. This is Forever Maps. This came out a week or three ago. I forget when exactly. Somebody said it was like really good. And you know what? It's a good setup for a story. Now, this is a Scout comic book, and I think Scout is like all their stuff, well, is being published in like their binge format where they just put out like the single issue and then you buy the trade. Yeah. Which I gotta admit, that is kind of innovative and stuff, but that's also not really the way I like to jam comic books, man. I got a whole desk drawer down here full of graphic novels I got to read. Like that's a lot of books. Now, because you can pick up a floppy and read it in 5 minutes, but a graphic novel feels like a bigger investment. So I'm not so sure about that business model. And boy, I sure hope Wretches. I guess Wretches is going to be that same way, isn't it? Which I've definitely been looking forward to. I mean, I own Wretches. I have like 2 copies of the self-published version. But it's a good book, and I guess Wretches is going to be printed the same way in the binge format. I like that they're trying a new business model no one else is doing. So Forever Maps has this interesting art style. It's very dramatic, very kind of sketchy. It conveys the mood rather well. It's all about maps. So this guy, he's like a teenager in the 1700s. He doesn't get along with his dad, loves his mom, abusive relationship. Uh, he runs to a guy who is hunting maps. The guy takes him to a map, or he takes the guy to where the map says another map is. They get it. The guy breaks down, uh, shoves the character away. I don't even remember his name now. I don't even know if he was told his name in this whole book. I'm sure he was because his dad addresses him a couple of times. So he's got this toxic relationship, and he's looking for an escape. And escape number one is going to school. And he's like, "All right, man, I'm going to go collect these maps for fun, as a little break from school, you know." And he does, and that's what you kind of see here. And so he goes out west into a snowstorm in the Rockies. This is a bad idea. Do not do that. And almost dies, and he's like gone basically for a year. And his life falls apart during that time, and all he has left are the maps. And so he's just like that character he meets at the beginning of the book, the old man here, who has nothing but the maps. The whole thing is maps. Somebody was saying something like, the maps make you immortal. I don't think that can be true because that old man at the beginning, like, he sounds like he's been at this for a long time. So maybe you get an extended life, but not immortality or something while you're chasing the maps. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure it matters that much. Uh, and I kind of wonder, like, where is this going? Like, is this going to jump from? Is this going to be like like this guy jumps through different time periods chasing maps, and so we get like a survey of history? Is there somebody else hunting maps that's hunting him? Like this is the zeroth chapter of the story. This is the prologue. What it feels like, not the whole book or not the whole story, not even like a proper first chapter. This introduces this character, it introduces the mood, and it's done all very rather well. Like I don't really have any complaints about the writing of the book. As soon as I arrived, I wrote my first letter. Father, thank you for everything. It's wonderful here. The people are very welcoming. I've made many friends. My classmates say the curriculum is very demanding. I'll write again when I can. Give my love to Mother. Sincerely, son John. Oh, that's his name, John. I asked my roommate to send the letter the next week. I had other priorities. And he does. He goes off map hunting. And that's where he's going to spend the rest of his life, apparently. Because bad things happen to him, man. Bad things happen. It's got possibilities. There's a lot of directions you can go with the story from this point. It's really hard for me to tell, looking at this number one, where it's going. If I see this in the store, the graphic novel, the collected edition, whatever they're calling it, the binge version, I might end up picking it up if it's a slow week and I don't have a lot of other books and my bill's not going to be that much. But I really want to read issue 2 before I decide if I want to go all in, I guess that's kind of the problem with the binge format. This is an interesting hook. It's an interesting setup, but it doesn't tell me what the story is going to be like. And so I've got a lot of questions. I have too many questions. I have enough questions that I don't think that I can completely reconcile them. So I at least want to flip through the book before I buy any more of it. Kind of an odd position to be in with comic books, because usually you get your comic books, you're drip fed one piece at a time, as opposed to getting the whole thing. Now the whole thing may be a really good value. There may be 5 issues there for $13 or whatever it was. Let's see, 104 pages, $12.99. So that's 4, 5 issues, something like that, depending on the length of the issues. If they're like 22 pages, that's like 4.5 issues or something. So $12 is definitely a value over $3.99. Of course, it's going to be square bound, so if there's any like 2-page spreads, they're going to come across poorly in that format. But I'm definitely just kind of conjecturing. Forever Maps was interesting. Pick it up if you like something kind of mysterious with a historical theme and kind of a unusual magic edge. Something that just it doesn't explain itself; it just presents itself as what it is. I think this first chapter kind of stands on its own as actually a pretty good short story. I don't think you really need the rest of the book. You have a beginning, you have a middle, and you have a satisfying, if kind of downbeat ending. It's very indie. It's very indie. You all have a great day, great night, great whatever you got going on. I hope to see you next time. Until then, bye bye.